Welcome to our YouTube channel Mathematical Pathshala. In this lecture, we are going to discuss ring theory complete solution of CSIR-NET December 2015 session. In that session, they have asked total 4 questions from this section, and this section will contain only the question of ring theory. Questions of number theory and field theory we will be discussing in the separate videos. So they have asked total 4 questions from this section. 2 questions are of marks 3 and 2 questions are of marks 4.75. So the total weightage is 14.5 in this session. So let's begin the problem. Question number 1. Let R be an Euclidean domain such that R is not a field. So we have given this R is an Euclidean domain and R is not a field. That means we can define the Euclidean norm on this structure, but this structure is not a field. That means it contains some non-zero element which are not unit. Then polynomial ring Rx is always. So they are asking the polynomial ring Rx. Option A Euclidean domain. We know that this R is a field. This implies Rx is an Euclidean domain, because whenever we are having a field, we can define the Euclidean norm on Rx, which is defined as the degree of that polynomial. You can define the Euclidean norm on Rx. It is defined as it is sending Px to degree of Px. So this you can define whenever you are in a field. So if you use the negation of this statement, or the converse of this statement is not true in general, that we know that. Because we have plenty of examples. Suppose I am taking this Zx. This is not an Euclidean domain. Why it is not an Euclidean domain? Let me clear you. Every field is an Euclidean domain. Every Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain. Every principal ideal domain is a unique factorization domain that we have proved in our theory lecture. And every unique factorization domain is an integral domain, and every integral domain is a ring. So suppose I am giving you one structure which is not PID, then obviously it is going to be not Euclidean domain. This is not a principal ideal domain because it has an ideal generated by 2 elements, 2, x, and you can replace your 2 with any other prime, and that ideal you cannot generate by single element. So this structure is not a principal ideal domain, hence this is not Euclidean domain. And one more thing we know, that R is a field if and only if Rx is a PID. So we can make use of this. Option A, Rx is always a Euclidean domain. Can I say this is an Euclidean domain? Suppose let Rx is an Euclidean domain, but I know that every Euclidean domain is a PID. This implies Rx is a PID, but I know that Rx is a PID if and only if R is a field. But they have mentioned this R is an Euclidean domain but not a field. But you are saying if you are choosing Rx to be Euclidean domain, then your R is going to be field. So option A is a false option. Option B, a principal ideal domain but not a Euclidean domain. Can I say this Rx be an Euclidean, this Rx be a PID? Suppose this Rx be a PID, then again I am going to get if and only if R is a field, but they have given R is not a field. So option B is also false. So whenever you are having R is a field but not, but you are having R is an Euclidean domain, R is not a field, then your Rx is neither Euclidean domain nor PID. Option A, a unique factorization domain but not a principal ideal domain. Can it be true? Let's see option C. See, this R is an Euclidean domain. I know that every Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain, and every principal ideal domain is a unique factorization domain. and we have proved in our theory lecture this R is a UFD if and only if Rx is UFD, and you can generalize this concept to up to n variables if and only if Rx comma y is UFD. So if you are having any polynomial ring in n variable, then that is UFD if and only if your R is UFD. So that we have done in our theory lecture. So this is a UFD because this R is a UFD. So this Rx is a UFD but not a PID that we have seen. So option C is correct. And this is single correct. अगर एक आपको ट्रू मिल गया तो बाकी के वेरीफाई करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ऑप्शन डी नॉट अ UFD फॉल्स, क्योंकि आपका सी ट्रू होगा तो डी फॉल्स. तो इन पर आपकी कमांड तभी आएगी जब अच्छे से आप चीज़ों को समझ करके आए. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, which of the following is an irreducible factor of x power 12 minus 1 over q? So they are asking the irreducible factor over q of this expansion. I have given you one thing in theory lecture. Suppose you want to solve x power n minus 1, then this is same as product of whenever k divides n, phi n x, and the meaning of phi n x, the number of the phi n x denotes the irreducible factor in the expansion of xn minus 1. So you want to find for this. So your x power 12 minus 1 can be expressed as phi 1 because k should be a divisor of n, and this is a positive divisor of n. So phi 1x, phi 2x, phi 3x, phi 6x, phi 12 of x. But we want to find the irreducible factor in this. So this phi 12 denotes the irreducible factor in the expansion of x power 12 minus 1. So we have to find this value. So we can find in a inductive way. Suppose we want to find the phi 1x. Now we have to express x power 1 minus 1. So this is a linear polynomial, and by definition linear polynomial is a irreducible. So this value is going to be x minus 1, x2, phi 2x, that is this x square minus 1. So in this, if you expand this, you are going to get x minus 1, x plus 1. But I have told you कि जो आप इनको एक्सप्रेस करते हो तो जो इनके रूट होते हैं वो आपके प्रिमिटिव रूट ऑफ यूनिटी होते हैं. और let me give you more detail for this, because you are watching the solution series, so you must know something. Suppose this G is a collection of all complex numbers satisfying z power n is equal to 1. That is the collection of all nth roots of unity, and this n is a fixed number. So this group is a finite group of a complex number, and we know that every finite group of C star dot is a cyclic group, that we know that. So this is a cyclic group. Can you give me the number of generators here? How many generators will this group has? This is a group of order n that you can verify, because अगर आपके पास कोई भी n डिग्री की इक्वेशन है उसके पास exactly n रूट्स होंगे, and this is z power n is equal to 1, तो इसके पास exactly n रूट्स होंगे यूनिटी के. Now what is the meaning of nth primitive root of unity? Let alpha be the nth primitive root of unity if alpha power n is equal to 1 and alpha power k is never 1 for every k less than n. That is, this should be the this n should be the smallest number satisfying this property alpha power n is equal to 1, and if you are taking any less natural number than n, then you are not getting this equality. So this is the definition of nth primitive root of unity. Suppose I want to find the second primitive root of unity of this equation. So it can be expressed as x minus 1, x plus 1. So this equation has two roots, 1 comma minus 1. But this is not the second primitive root of unity, because this will give you this will give you 1 in 1 times. अगर आप 1 की पावर 1 करोगे तभी आपको 1 मिल जाएगा. बट दिस माइनस 1 अगर आप इसको 2 बार करोगे तब जाके 1 मिलेगा, उससे पहले नहीं मिलेगा. सो दिस माइनस 1 इज द सेकेंड प्रिमिटिव रूट ऑफ यूनिटी. सपोज यू वांट टू फाइंड द थर्ड प्रिमिटिव रूट ऑफ यूनिटी. दैट मीन्स यहाँ पर आपके पास 3 रूट होंगे, 1 ओमेगा ओमेगा स्क्वायर. बट 1 इज नॉट द third primitive root of unity. Omega and omega square are the third primitive root of unity. So 1 is the root of unity but not the third primitive root of unity. So omega and omega square are the third primitive root of unity. So from here you can observe this group has phi n generators, because we know that in a finite cyclic group number of generators are phi n, that is the Euler-Tauschan function. So number of generators of G are exactly same as the Euler-Tauschan function, say phi n of n or phi of n. The number of natural number less than or equal to n and relatively prime to n. So these are the number of generators. Can you give me the exact form of generators? What are the generator of this equation? See, I have given you the definition of nth primitive root of unity. That is, if alpha be nth primitive root of unity, then alpha power n is 1 and alpha power k is not 1 for every k is less than n. That is, order of alpha is n. And group के generator वही होते हैं जिनका order group के same होता है. So these are nothing but the nth primitive root of unity. So this is the nth primitive root of unity. So let me give you the definition of this phi nx. See, this is your Euler-Tauschan function and this is the number of irreducible factor over q in the expansion of x power n minus 1. So this is x minus alpha 1, x minus alpha 2, x minus alpha times phi of n, where each alpha I is a generator of G, or you can say each alpha I is a primitive root of, is a nth primitive root of unity. So each alpha is either a generator or you can treat as a nth primitive root of unity. So this is, now let me give you some more hint for this question, because if you know this concept it will take hardly 10 seconds, but if you don't know this concept you cannot attempt in the examination easily. What is the value of phi 1x? For phi 1x you have the equation x minus 1. So you have only one root, that is the 1. So the value will be x minus alpha 1. So alpha 1 value is 1. Suppose I want to compute phi 2x. For phi 2x you have the equation x square minus 1. So for this you have two roots, 1 and minus 1. But 1 is not the primitive root. So minus 1 is the second primitive root. So this is x plus 1. What is phi 3x? If you see this x cube minus 1, so it has three roots, 1 omega and omega square, but omega and omega square both are third primitive root of unity, but 1 is not the primitive root. So this is same as x minus omega, x minus omega square. But we want to write the factorization over q, so you cannot use the complex numbers. So you can write 1 plus x square. If you find the root of this equation, you are going to write omega and omega square. So this is my phi 3x and this is irreducible over q. So this gives you the irreducible factor in the expansion of x power n minus 1. Oh, sorry, x power n minus 1. If you want to find phi 4x, you have equation x4 minus 1. So roots are 1, minus 1, iota, minus iota. But iota and minus iota are of order 4. So these two are fourth primitive root of unity. So you have to write x minus iota, x plus iota. But again you cannot write the polynomial over q. Sorry, not over c. You have to write the polynomial over q. But this iota and minus iota both are not inside q. So you have to manage those. So you can write x square plus 1. So this is my phi 4x. So but you can observe one more thing. See, x minus 1 is same as phi 1x. Phi 2x is exactly, or x square minus 1 is exactly same as phi 1x, phi 2x. You can verify x square minus 1, x minus 1, x plus 1. So this is same. If you compute x power 3 minus 1, you are going to get phi 1x, phi 3x. If you are going to find x power 4 minus 1, you are going to get phi 1x, phi 2x, phi 4x. Why I am choosing 1, 2, 4 here? Why I am not choosing the 3? Because I am choosing only the divisor of 4. So this you can verify. This phi 4 x power 4 minus 1 is exactly same as phi 1x, phi 2x, phi 4x. अगर आप इन दोनों का प्रोडक्ट करेंगे और इसका प्रोडक्ट करेंगे, you are going to get this equation. So I can use in an inductive way. I am choosing only the factors of n. So I can see this x power n minus 1 is same as product of, whenever k is dividing n and k is a positive natural number, phi kx. And this phi k denotes the irreducible factor in the expansion of x power k minus 1. So they are asking the value of phi 12. So phi 12 we can find. Now let us compute this. I know that x power 12 minus 1 is same as phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4, phi 6, phi 12, because these 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 are the positive divisor of 12. If you expand this, you are going to get, say, x power 6 minus 1, x power 6 plus 1. But this x power 6 minus 1, you know how to express this. This is same as phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 6, because these are the positive divisor of 6. So this equation can be expressed as in this form. Now you have this x power 6 plus 1 is same as phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4, phi 6, phi 12. You can cancel these 4 factors. Now you have this factor, and this factor. So you have to compute phi 4, phi 12 is same as x power 6 plus 1. You can make use of the formula a cube plus b cube. So this is x square plus 1 minus x square plus x power 4. But I know that I have just computed the value of phi 4. The value of phi 4 is exactly x square plus 1. The irreducible factor in the expansion of x power 4 minus 1 over q. So these all we are talking over q, not in general field or structure. So the correct answer will be the value of phi 12x is 1 minus x square plus x power 4. So option C is the correct. And the logic I have given you completely. Now let me come to the question number 3. Let A denote the quotient ring Qx, quotient by ideal generated by x cube. Then there are exactly 3 distinct proper ideals in A. There is only one prime ideal in A. A is an integral domain. Option D. F comma G, we will discuss later this option. Now let us come to the option A. There are exactly 3 distinct proper ideals. How can you say about these ideals? This ring is a quotient ring. So you should know one thing. Every ideal of R by I is of the form J by I, where J is the, or J is a, I should not write the, J is the ideal of R containing I, and conversely, because there is one-to-one correspondence between the ideal of R by I and the ideals of R containing I. So this is giving you the strong condition every ideal of R by I is of the form J by I, where J is an ideal of R containing I. So इसकी जो भी ideal होंगी वो किस फॉर्मेट की होंगी? Say J by I where I is x cube and J is containing this ideal and J is itself an ideal in Qx. Now this Q is a field, so Qx is a principal ideal domain. I can make use of that. So every ideal of Qx will be principal ideal. So this J will be generated by some single element, that we know that. So this is the use of PID. Now we know the format of the ideals of this quotient ring. So what are the possibilities for J? So this J should be an ideal of Qx. This J should contain this x cube factor. So possibilities for J will be, you can take ideal generated by 1, ideal generated by x, ideal generated by x cube, x square, and ideal generated by x cube. So these are the possibilities for possible choices for J. And you can observe there is no other choice for J other than these four. If I choose J to be 1, and if any ideal contains a unit element, J becomes whole of R. So in this case, this is going to be whole of ring. So in this case, you are going to get the improper ideal, and you can verify these three are the improper ideals. This ideal is ideal. This is ideal generated by x quotient with ideal generated by x cube. This is ideal generated by x square quotient with ideal generated by x cube, and this is ideal generated by x cube quotient by ideal generated by x cube. This is the trivial ideal, and trivial को भी आप हमेशा proper मान के चलते हैं in case of ring theory. So we have three distinct proper ideals of this ring. So option A is correct. There is only one prime ideal in A. What can you say about this? These four are the choices for this. There are four ideals, and for prime ideal we always see for the proper ideals, क्योंकि आप जब भी prime की definition देते हो, you write this P is prime ideal in R if first of all this P should not be equal to R, and whenever AB inside P, this should imply either A is in P or B is in P. This is the definition of prime ideal. So if you are checking for prime ideal, you clearly, oh 1 second, I have just committed one mistake. These are the choices for J, and these are precisely ideals. So this ideal will be, so if I choose this ideal, I cannot talk about the prime ideal, because prime ideal is always a proper ideal. This is an improper ideal, so I cannot take this as a prime ideal. So I have three choices for prime ideal. Let us verify which of the following is a prime or not. Can it be a prime? If you observe this, ideal generated by x, see, this x will be a member of this, as well as x square will be a member of this. Okay. Let me do in a more better way. Let's do some more thing for this. I have three proper ideals: ideal generated by x upon x cube, I2 ideal generated by x square upon x cube, and I3 ideal generated by x cube quotient with ideal generated by x cube. This is basically nothing but the only trivial element. But in this case, you cannot say this is a prime ideal. You say in an integral domain, a zero ideal, a trivial ideal is always a prime ideal, but this is not an integral domain. It has zero divisors. So you cannot say for this. This is the zero element of this. But this is not an integral domain. Now let us verify this structure. This is ideal generated by this. That means Px into x plus ideal generated by x cube, such that your Px is coming from Qx. So this is the complete structure. और सी अगर आप इस Px को लिखोगे Qx की फॉर्म में तो a0 प्लस a1x प्लस a2x स्क्वायर इस टाइप के टर्म आएंगे. सो लेट मी गिव फुल हिंट फॉर दिस. a0 x प्लस a2 a1x स्क्वायर प्लस a2 x cube plus so on plus ideal generated by x cube, and each ai is coming from rational. But observe one thing, after this term you can take x cube common out, so x cube into some polynomial generated by some polynomial, so that will be merging in this because this is generated by x cube. तो ये सारे टर्म यहाँ मर्ज हो जाएंगे. सो आई विल बी हैविंग ओनली a0x plus a1x square plus ideal generated by x cube, where a0 comma a1 are from Q. Now suppose say alpha comma beta belongs to this I1. So alpha 1 will be of this form, and no, alpha into beta is a member of this I1. And can I say this, either alpha is inside I1 or beta is inside I1? Suppose I choose my alpha to be 1 and this beta is, or say this is a0 and beta is say x cube. No, let me write not this, this inside I1, because this a0 into x this is inside I1, because the member in this ring will be a0x plus x cube inside I1. Clearly this is a member of this, that is I can say this is a member of this. If you write in this way, a0 plus ideal generated by x cube, and this is x plus ideal generated by x cube is inside I1, that is by the operation of quotient ring. So I can separate these two in this format. So a0 plus x ideal generated by x cube, x plus ideal generated by x cube is inside I1, where I1 is this. But you can verify this is not a member of I1, but this is a member. This is creating problem. Okay, let me do in a better way. Take any arbitrary factor, say px into qx is a member of I1. That means this px into qx is a member of I1, so it will be look like something this. So I can say this is a0x plus a1x square plus ideal generated by x cube is inside I1, because this is whole is inside I1, so this whole member will look like this member. Now if you want to write to separately, then you can do one thing. You can take x common out, you can write a0, or you can write in this way, say x plus ideal generated by x cube, and you can write a0 plus a1x plus ideal generated by x cube is inside I1. You can write in this way. But from here you can observe, as you are writing this px into qx is inside I1, so choices for p and q will be either this will be p or this will be p. So you can see this is a member of I1, but this is not a member of I1. So by definition this is a prime ideal. The definition of prime ideal is if AB belongs to P, then either A is inside P or B is inside P. So by definition this element is a member of I1. This is not a member because constant term यहाँ पर available नहीं है. So this is not a member, but this is a member. So whenever you are choosing Px into Qx, then this is inside I1, hence this I1 is a prime ideal. So this is by definition. So I1 is a prime ideal. What can you say about I2? If you want to write the structure of I2, this will be, say, px into x square plus ideal generated by x cube, such that px is coming from qx. If you want to write explicitly, choose px to be a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus so on, and coefficient are coming from rational. So this is same as, अगर आप a0 लिखोगे तो a0 x square plus आपने a1 x cube लिखा, a1 x cube, बट x cube वाले सारे के सारे इसमें मर्ज हो जाएंगे. तो अब यहाँ पर कभी भी a1 के साथ x वाला टर्म लोगे वो इसमें हमेशा मर्ज हो जाएगा, तो आपके पास सिर्फ ये बचेगा. So this a0 is inside rational. So this is the explicit nature of this I2. But for this you can observe x plus ideal generated by x cube, x plus ideal generated by x cube, which is same as x square plus ideal generated by x cube is a member of I2. But neither this is a member of I2 nor this is a member of I2. So this I2 is not a prime ideal by definition. Because whenever AB is inside I2, neither A is inside I2 nor A2 is inside I2. So this is not a prime ideal. Now, if you want to compute this, this is nothing but px into x cube plus ideal generated by x cube, such that your px is inside qx. But you observe, whenever you are writing x cube, this will be merging in this. So this is nothing but the zero element only. So this is nothing but ideal generated by x cube only. So this is the zero element. Can it be prime ideal? See, x plus ideal generated by x cube, x square plus ideal generated by x cube. This is a member of I3. Because if you compute this, you are going to get x cube plus ideal generated by x cube by quotient operation. But this x cube will be merging in this. So this is actually ideal generated by x cube. So this is a member of I3. So this, the product is inside I3, but neither this is inside I3 nor this is inside I3. Hence this is not a prime ideal. So I1 is the only prime ideal. So this is the explanation for this. I cannot give the better explanation for this. I cannot give any short trick for this. Now option C, A is an integral domain. क्या A integral domain बनेगा? Clearly it is not an integral domain. You can take x plus x cube. This is a member of this A. Multiply with x square plus ideal generated by x cube. This is another member of this ring. If you product these two, you are going to get x cube plus ideal generated by x cube. But this is nothing but ideal generated by x cube. And this quotient is a zero element. So this is a non-zero member of this. This is non-zero member. But their product is 0, so this has 0 divisor. So this is not an integral domain. So till now option A and option B are correct. Option D, let f comma g be two polynomial in Qx. Such that f bar dot g bar is 0 in A. That is, you are taking f, you are reducing over this, that is you are operating the modulo x cube operation. In g is a polynomial inside this, and you are operating modulo x cube operation. Then you are writing f bar g bar. So they have defined, let f comma g be inside qx such that f bar g bar is 0 in A. Here f bar and g bar denote the image of f and g respectively in A. The meaning of image is nothing but, you can observe in this way. Let me define now function f from qx to qx ideal generated by x cube. You are sending this px to px plus ideal generated by x cube. So you are taking polynomial, you are defining one homomorphism, then this f bar is nothing but the homomorphic image of this homomorphism. and same for G bar. G bar is the homomorphic image of G bar and G under this homomorphism. So you are taking G, you are reducing over modulo x cube in A. Then f at 0 into G at 0 is 0. क्या जरूरी है? अगर f बार और G बार का प्रोडक्ट 0 हो रहा है तो क्या see this f bar into G bar is a member of this two and the product is 0. They are asking, can you explain f into 0 and G into 0 will be 0, that is one of the constant term of this polynomial will be 0. Can I say this? See, if f bar into G bar is 0, that is this f bar into G bar will be inside x cube, because the 0 is inside A and the 0 of A is nothing but the ideal generated by x cube. So f bar into G bar is inside x cube. So from here I can see this f bar is a polynomial in Q, this G bar is a polynomial in Q. That is clear. चलिए इसको भी समझते हैं. अगर आप f बार के मेंबर लिखना चाहो तो f बार f कैसा लगेगा? f इज a0 प्लस a1x प्लस a2x स्क्वायर प्लस a3 और से आइडियल जनरेटेड बाय x क्यूब. क्योंकि जो भी आपका नेक्स्ट टर्म आएगा वो आप हमेशा इसके अंदर मर्ज कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आप लिख सकते हो x क्यूब इंटू जो सम टर्म आएंगे से qx. सिमिलरली यू कैन राइट g इज b0 b1x प्लस b2x स्क्वायर प्लस x क्यूब into some new polynomial, say px. You can write in this format. You are producing this two. So f into g, this is getting vanished after taking the reduction in a. That means अगर आप f into g निकालोगे तो constant टर्म क्या आ जाएगा? a0 b0. x का टर्म कौन सा होगा? a0 b1 प्लस a0 b1 प्लस b0 a1. दिस इज अ टर्म ऑफ x. x स्क्वायर का टर्म कौन सा आएगा? a0 b2 प्लस a1 b1 प्लस a2 b0. अब जो नेक्स्ट टर्म आएगा वो x क्यूब का टर्म आएगा, बट x क्यूब का टर्म जो भी होगा वो 0 हो जाएगा. सो यू कैन राइट x क्यूब इंटू सम न्यू पॉलिनोमियल tx. आपने x क्यूब कॉमन लिया और कोई नया पॉलिनोमियल लिख दिया. दिस आफ्टर टेकिंग रिडक्शन इज गेटिंग 0. सो दिस इज 0 इन a. सो व्हाट कैन यू से? अगर ये 0 हो रहा है a में, यानी कि यहाँ पर सारे के सारे टर्म x क्यूब के होंगे. x का x स्क्वायर का और x क्यूब का कोई x का x स्क्वायर का और कांस्टेंट टर्म कोई भी अवेलेबल नहीं होगा. ये तभी पॉसिबल है. सो दिस इज 0 इन a. दिस कंडीशन विल फोर्स मी a0 b0 इज 0. एंड वंस योर a0 b0 इज 0, डेफिनेटली योर f at 0 एंड g at 0 की वैल्यू हमेशा 0 हो जाएगी. तो ये लॉजिक समझ में आ रहा है. मोर ओवर यू कैन से दिस टर्म इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी 0, दिस टर्म इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी 0, दिस ऑल्सो यू कैन से. सो ऑप्शन डी इज अगेन करेक्ट. सो ए, बी एंड डी, 3 ऑप्शंस आर करेक्ट फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. नाउ let us come to the last question, question number 4. Which of the following quotient rings are filled? First option, f3x x cube plus x plus 1, where f3 denotes the finite field with 3 elements. आपके पास कोई भी p एलिमेंट की फील्ड है तो वो हमेशा यूनिक होती है अप टू आइसोमॉर्फिज्म. सो दिस f3 you can consider as a z3. I know that whenever R is a commutative ring with unity and I is an ideal of R, then R by I is a field if and only if I is maximal. This I know that. Can it be a maximal ideal of this Z3X? See, this F3 is a field, so this F3X is a PID, and in a PID an ideal generated by an irreducible element if and only if it is maximal. क्या ये irreducible element है या irreducible polynomial है? आपके पास जब भी ये फील्ड होता है तो ये जो irreducible element होता है और irreducible polynomial होता है ये दोनों सेम हो जाते हैं. Providing this structure should be a field. क्या ये irreducible polynomial है? अगर ये irreducible polynomial हुआ तो ये irreducible element बनेगा. And in a PID, every ideal generated by some irreducible element becomes maximal. तो आपको ये चेक करना क्या ये irreducible polynomial है. This is a 3-degree polynomial. This is a field. You can use the criteria degree 2 or degree 3 over a field. So if you find value of this polynomial at 0, you are going to get 0, or at point 1, you are going to get 1 plus 1 plus 1, but this is 0 is inside F3 because the characteristic of this field is 3. So अगर आप कोई भी element को 3 टाइम ऑपरेट करेंगे, you are going to get 0. So this has a root, hence this is reducible, and once this is reducible, it is not irreducible element. If it is not irreducible element, then ideal generated by this element cannot be maximal, and once it is not maximal, this cannot be filled by this. So this is not a field. Option B, Zx ideal generated by x minus 3. What can you say about this structure? क्या ये field बन सकती है? See, let me define one homomorphism from Zx to Z itself. I am sending my polynomial which is defined over integer coefficient to P at 3. If you want to find the kernel of this homomorphism, clearly this is an onto ring homomorphism. If you find the kernel, then kernel is the collection of all those polynomials whose getting finished at point 3. That is, the polynomial will contain at least one factor of 3. So this is ideal generated by x minus 3. And this is onto ring homomorphism. So this Zx by kernel is isomorphic to image, but this image will be whole of codomain because of onto map. So this is by fundamental theorem of homomorphism. So this is isomorphic to Z, and you know that Z is not a field. This Z is not a field. So this is not a field. And there are other criteria to show field. अगर आप इसका कोई भी non-zero element लो and वो show कर दो कि that is not a unit, then also you can do. Option C. Option C is Qx x square plus x plus 1. Can it be a field? See, this Q is a field, so this Qx is a PID. So this is my PID, principal ideal domain. And in a PID, every ideal generated by irreducible element becomes maximal ideal. क्या ये irreducible element है? अगर ये field होता है तो आपका irreducible element और irreducible polynomial दोनों same हो जाते हैं. क्या ये irreducible polynomial है? That we have seen, this is an irreducible polynomial because this is the value of phi 3. The irreducible factor in the expansion of x power 3 minus 1 that we have seen in the question number 2 in a very detail. So this is nothing but the phi 3, and phi 3 gives you the irreducible factor in the expansion of x power 3 minus 1 over q. So this is irreducible polynomial. Once it is irreducible polynomial, it is an irreducible element, and every ideal generated by in a PID, every ideal generated by irreducible element becomes the maximal ideal. So once it is maximal, this structure is a field. So this is a field. Option D, F2x, and you can use the Eisenstein criteria also for showing this is a irreducible polynomial, or you can use the root criteria. This is a 2-degree polynomial. It is reducible if and only if it has a root over q, but this polynomial does not have root over q. The roots are omega and omega square. F2x ideal generated by x square plus x plus 1. See, this is my field. This is a 2-degree polynomial. This is reducible if and only if it has a root, and the elements in F2 are 0 and 1. So if you check the value at 0, value at 0 will be 1, value at 1 will be 1, because 3, the meaning of 3 inside F2 will be 1. So this is again irreducible polynomial, and in a field, irreducible polynomial becomes irreducible element, and in a PID, because this is a field, so this is a PID. In a PID, an ideal generated by irreducible element becomes the maximal ideal. So this is my maximal ideal, and by this theorem, this is a field. And moreover, you can give the cardinality of this field also. The cardinality of this field is the 2 power 2. This 2 represent the cardinality of field, and this 2 represent the degree of your irreducible polynomial. Degree is 2 and this is 2. So this is a field with 4 elements. So this is the explanation for this question. So option C and option D are correct. I hope आपको problem समझ में आई होंगी, but still if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. You can do WhatsApp me also, and if you have any suggestion for us, you are always welcome. Thanks for watching this solution series.